Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to your Sunday's Talking Town, the flagship podcast of the week. Here to discuss a win this weekend, ladies and gentlemen, a 4-0 thumping of Forest Green, slam dunk, as we have called it this afternoon. In fairness, Forest Green didn't really put up that much of a fight. They were kind of, poking with a stick, see if they were still alive, but we did what we had to do for the first time, I think, in a long time. We did what we had to do, and we did it with style. We're here to break it down, see who played well, see who perhaps didn't. Will Kieran McKenna stick with an unchanged side for next week? We'll get into all of the nitty-gritties as we do. And, of course, we invite you to have your say this afternoon. You've got a live chat, which I was reading as the intro was playing, making me smile. So please do continue to do that. And, of course, there'll be a link, I'm sure, at some point for you all to get involved. Our YouTube member, Ben Hobbs, starts us off with afternoon all. Davis Chaplin and Broadhead were unbelievable yesterday. I know Cruncher was full of praise for Broadhead and Chaplin, I believe, on social media. Colin Plum, good afternoon. A belated, I wish you a happy birthday yesterday, obviously, but a belated birthday as well. Hope you had a great evening. I won't ask what you got up to. As for those that haven't seen yesterday's post-game show, we did end it. Yes, thanks, Cruncher. Thanks, mate. Didn't need that down the bottom, pal. Don't throw me off my stride. See, now I'm putting all sorts on the screen. Rob Holmes, afternoon all. I was pleased to see how the 4 January signings step up. Yeah, well, it's amazing what happens if you play them, Rob. It really is. They can't step up off the bench, can they, as they were on midweek. Felixstowe Blues actually won a game, and what opposition it was. All right, let's get things off. Let's bring them both in. Yeah, so I'll bring them both in. Yeah.
Somebody get the tables. Hard truth are here. Delivering the truth that nobody wants to hear. The Cruncher and the Media Mogul.
Truth that no one wants to hear. Matt has been doing that more recently than Cruncher, but they're both here with me. Both, again, unchanged in their tops. They're more unchanged than the Kieran McKenna side.
We've coordinated this on purpose.
Why?
What was Colin doing? What was Colin up to last night?
I want to know. Don't care.
Don't go back down there again.
Lining. Fill in the blanks.
Don't go back down there. What a pun. What a pun to kick us off. Brilliant. Nice to see you both smiling.
Do you like my title today? Chaplin's Vegan Feast.
Ooh, I like it.
That was from Billy Baxter on Twitter, who he's three-word takeaway. We'll get into that because I've got.
We'll do a bit of those a bit later on in this afternoon. We've got a 3-word takeaway, so courtesy of his Cruncher's social media.
I noticed some comments Friday. People think I'm sitting on the edge of my bed. This is in my kitchen, everyone. Like a little booth you get in like a diner or whatever. It's that kind of vibe, and this is the backdrop to it. I wouldn't sit on my bed. I've got more class than that. Professional outfit.
We've all met you. We know you haven't got more class. Let's be honest.
By the way, did you get to a cash machine yesterday? You were stressing about that, weren't you, in the car park?
I did. Finally got one. Unlocked the credit card. And
had too many tries on the old getting into your account thing and blocked himself out. He said, find a cash machine to re-register or something, wasn't it?
Remember those cash machines?
Yeah,
trying to actually locate one. Looking like a well-groomed man up there to this afternoon, Rich. You've been looking after yourself today. Been pampering yourself.
Oh, really?
No, you look well groomed.
I saw the other way, didn't I?
Of course.
Cruncher. Yeah. Corporate cruncher if the beard weren't now.
Even with the beard, he's got the whole style going on. You got those like styles from Amazon that you bought, where you can shave around it. No. All right, fine.
Is that how they do that? I've always wondered that. Like the groomed beards. You stick it to your face.
Yeah, I haven't got one, obviously, as you can see.
Have you had a beard, Matt?
I have actually. No, I used to have like a bit of a goatee. I was contemplating bringing it back.
I'd love to see Matt with a beard.
So would I with a goatee, yeah.
Yeah, that's about 20 years now.
No, Lee Anderson, I'm not back on the Just for Men. It's nice of Lee to turn up yesterday and actually say hello to Matt.
He did. Multiple times, in fact. It was nice to see him.
It was. Also nice to see our team turn up.
Did you hear yesterday about Colin's story on the train?
Yes.
Is it safe for broadcast? That's what I want to know.
It is safe for broadcast. He met two lovely young ladies, probably about 30. He was talking to them.
Back on the Manscaped.
Obviously brought up the book. But then they had a selfie with Colin. Now, I want to know where this picture is. I want to know where it is. Will it go viral, Matt?
Did he say he was the best? He was now the best-selling author in the Eastern region, which probably the old.
Is he?
Wait, who knows what he told him? I don't know.
Bigger than Graham Brook.
Who's behind? Yeah, when Graham's book came out a while back, let's not forget. And he was right behind Ten Hag on the one Amazon list, wasn't he?
Oh yes.
What a position to be in, you know. What a position to be in. Okay, cool. Well, in that case, I'm glad he had a great birthday and an eventful train journey home.
That was the train journey there.
Yes, but I heard about the train journey back from AD this morning at church. So
I'm not sure what he got up to on the way home.
Yeah.
There we go. AD says, great to see Ben Moore on radio yesterday. Good to see the return of Ben Moore back on the post-game show. Brilliant. Missed his famous F-bomb drop. It was good. Just like Ipswich Town, let's get into the 4-0 win. It wasn't difficult, let's be brutally fair. They didn't play with the same fire as Duncan Ferguson played, that's for sure. Routine, was it not, gentlemen? Routine, 3 points, job done, move on?
Yeah. I said, if only we could play them every week. They were dreadful. I actually think they were one of the worst teams I've ever seen at Portman Road, and that's including non-league opposition and that lot that rocks up from Luxembourg that time. Avonmere Began.
And including our team.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And some of our own performances. Yeah. Well, at least Avonmere Began scored that worldy header, the diving header in the 8-1. Do you remember? But they were terrible. You could see that. You could see Forest Green going right through League Two.
I went to Avonmere Began, Matt. I went to the away leg.
It was 1-0, wasn't it? Did Marcus Stewart?
90th minute. We huffed and puffed. You could actually drink beer on the terraces out there.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, they were terrible. I like their pink kit. I thought that was pretty cool. Me and Richard Bid.
Why were they wearing it? Can I just ask why they were wearing the pink kit when obviously their home kit is lime green, I think, and black, and doesn't clash, does it? No, look good, but absolutely dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. I mean, that's as much of a home banker as you can get. It might be like, like Wimbledon when like Federer, the champion or whatever, turns up on centre court opening day and he's playing some bloke from Latvia that no one's heard of. It's like routine, isn't it? So at least we did it. It was a routine win, but like I say, as much as a home banker as you can probably get in this division, I think.
Yeah, Chris Boyd would give him credit though, Rich, for not parking the bus. They tried to play, didn't stand a chance, but credit to them compared to Rovers on Tuesday who parked the bus at home.
Well, Bristol Rovers, if you listen to Joey Barton's post-match interview that we touched on Friday, he actually apologised to Kieran after the game for not playing football. But listen, you can't just rock up and, like he said, if Rovers tried to go toe-to-toe with Ipswich the other night, football-wise, they'd have probably lost the game, Matt. And this is where teams who come and play football against Town, I've got no issue with that we won't get the job done because they leave themselves open, these teams. It's when these teams come and they, like Bristol Rovers the other night, that's their prerogative to play like that, guys. They ain't just going to come and say, here you go, we'll come and play football, take the 3 points. Football don't work like that, and this is what we have to get used to when we're playing these teams. Fleetwood, everyone's saying, oh, yeah, Forest Green, oh, it's an easy victory. Well, hang on, weren't people saying that against Fleetwood, Cheltenham, Lincoln? But when these teams, Matt, come and play football, I think they play into our hands, didn't they?
These were a tier below them, weren't they? So you can see why they're bottom of the table, with 5 wins on that. Yeah, just drift. I mean, look, the game was almost over after 3 minutes when we scored. And then the stadium went totally quiet. It was almost like a training game, wasn't it?
Well, what was the atmosphere like in Wolverhampton on Callie's iFollow sofa? Was he letting pyros off, do you think?
Probably. You know what he's like. He likes to have a bit of an atmosphere when he watches the football, but it was flat in that first half. It was a training ground. I
was bored as hell. You knew we were going to win. There was no atmosphere in the stadium. I don't get that. Why not just, you keep going on about, we had the lads Friday night, gave a shout out to them. We Blue Ultra said they want to get the atmosphere going. Well, you're winning at home to Forest Green. Why is it so quiet if you're in the North Stand?
Matt, I've been to grounds all around the country, and it's not just town. It's not just town. This is how it is in this era of all-seater stadiums, and a lot of people just go for a social to see their friends, and not everyone wants to get up and shout and cheer and whatever. No. Everybody supports the team in a different way.
Do you also think, Rich, when you've got such a little away following, that plays into it? I mean, like obviously Wednesday,
when you turn up at the ground. When you turn up at the ground yesterday, Matt, and you come into your seat and you look over, and last week it was absolutely rammed over there, and there's 225? But look, fair play to them Forest Green fans who travelled to come and see their team play, because they probably knew what was going to happen. I don't think they were that stupid to think that they're probably going to come and get the 3 points. But you have to make your own atmosphere sometimes. Like it's how you play on the pitch, isn't it? Because a lot of people will say, the fans have got to get the players going, and a lot of people will say, well, hang on. Come on, entertain us.
Well, they had they not? They scored after 3 minutes.
True.
Good goal.
I just found it a bit weird. But like you say, it was almost thought it won a match day when I arrived at Ipswich Station, because last week you had the entire East Anglian police force there.
Not that edge, man, when you turned up last Saturday to Wednesday.
Was that?
It's the edge of that game last week. When you turn Wednesday, because there's going to be a packed out away following. Yeah. And it gets people going. And when you're turning up, but these are the games. They're still worth 3 points.
Exactly.
Forest Green, Wednesday, MK next week. All get 3 points for wins. We got the job done.
It was like an FA Cup game, weren't it? Like when we played Oldham the other season, when it was like 8,000. It had that vibe to it.
Do you think it's got something to do with the fact that you've built up the last couple of weeks of big game, and we've kind of faltered, and so it's almost that like
it was still a decent crowd.
Morning after the night before, we were like flat because it's come, it's gone. Like if we'd won Tuesday, I think it would have been maybe a little bit different. But it's that whole we drew Tuesday. It's probably now out of our reach. It's just. Do
you think there was like top 2 resignation then?
I think there is. I think you've got to be really now, haven't you? I mean, you look at the league table. It's not over, as Rich will probably say.
I've got some stats for you, Matt. So you're all doom and gloom.
Yeah.
Warner McKenna out.
Yeah.
So this is the 4th highest total of points Town have accrued in 32 games in our history.
I'm taking 10 million.
So 65 was the most in 04-05, 63 99 2000, 61 in 81-82, 60 22 25. And I know you'll probably say it's in the third tier, and I do get that.
Yeah.
And 4 defeats in 32 is the second lowest in Town's history. 80, 81, 2 had fewer. So.
Well, to get out of this division, we've got a
second top scorers in the country as well now, 60 goals.
It's only taken £10 million.
Why are we sitting in bloody third then? Why are we third then? Someone explain that one to me.
Because you can't win a game of football consistently.
Yeah.
Although somebody actually sent me a message this morning. I won't say the name.
Oh, what did they say?
No. Behave
them
yourself.
2 jokers still on.
Behave yourself.
We're here anyway. We know it is in the chat. If you come on, I'm coming for you. Don't worry.
Oh, Ipswich, 93 points. Plymouth, 87. Keep the faith. Tell that Matt Phillips, such a negative guy. Always been a fan of Talking Town. Keep up the good work. I won't say who it is, but we love you. We appreciate the comment. But what do you think of that? Ipswich, 93 points. Plymouth on 87.
All right.
Is that what we're going to finish on?
Mm-hmm.
So that's 33 points from the next 14 games.
Yep, beating MK Dons, Burton Albion, Accrington Stanley, drawing away at Bolton, Shrewsbury winning, drawing away at Barnsley, losing at Derby, and then beating Wickham, Cheltenham, Charlton, Port Vale, drawing away to Peterborough, and beating Exford and Fliffe. So I'm one defeat.
Where's this team coming from? Now this is a team I like. Where's this coming from?
What was this person predicting then for Plymouth? Because I'd love to see Plymouth's last 14 games around.
So Peterborough away, defeat. Charlton at home win, Barnsley away defeat, Forest Green at home win, Bolton away defeat, and then April you've got Rovers at home win, Morecambe away win, Lincoln at home draw. Not sure on that one.
They are the draw specialists, Lincoln.
They are. Exeter away loss, Shrewsbury draw, Cambridge at home 1, Burton at home 1, and then a last day draw away at Port Vale.
So they're going to get. You say they're going to get 87 points.
Not me. This person said yes, 87.
So having chalked up 68 points from 32 games, they're getting 19 off the last 14. What, they've been drinking, these people? When was this
Nerves
second
could hit
game?
them. The nerves could hit them. Could it not? Could the business end of the
Wow.
campaign?
Well, maybe. Who
No, I
knows?
know I'm optimistic, but even I don't think that's going to happen. Bloody hell. That's some fall from grace, Matt, if that happens.
That'd be terrible.
See, I
I think
think-
Schumacher out.
I don't think the form this person's put down for Plymouth is actually that bad. It's more the form he's put down for us. Where's that coming from? We're being unbeaten. Well, one defeat in the last remaining games with 2 draws.
Well, just to
3
catch
draws.
Plymouth, Ipswich have got over the next 5 games. They've got to do 2 points per game just to get to 70 points.
Which isn't
We're
that.
we're doing about 1.4 at the moment. And
Just
that's
win
it.
the next game. Just win the next
Yeah.
game. They're away at Peterborough on Saturday. Just win the next game.
We're Bolton
That's all we can
1-5.
do.
By the way, did you see Jack Taylor scored yesterday for Peterborough?
Yeah.
It was all like,
Might have.
in fact, he don't score goals, and he does.
Might come across my radar.
Do you agree with that then? Do you think Plymouth are going to, you think the Wolves are going to, I noticed they did over 500 passes trying to get Fleetwood down yesterday. Normally they're about 300. So that was interesting to see that suddenly gone 204 passes.
Great partnership that Fleetwood had at the centre of defence as well.
Yeah,
Who was it?
Dorian Darber.
there you go.
Come on, lads.
And Elkin Baggett played against James Norwood. Yesterday.
Yeah,
Let's see about that the better.
They're on fire as well. Barnsley are playing well as well, man. Scoring lots of goals.
Yeah.
I did say in the summer Barnes would be a team to watch, and I was told.
We didn't know what they were going to. Well, we didn't know what they were going to be like, did we? In terms of just coming down from the Championship and that. But ditto Derby, really.
They're a surprise package, to be fair. Though. I don't fancy getting Derby in the playoffs.
They've got the best. They got the best League One manager in about the last 10 years at the helm. That's why. Points.
We've got the best manager in the last 50 years at the helm. Have we not? That's
Yeah.
what we're told.
Apparently.
That's what we're told.
Yeah,
Brandon says, by
basically-
far, Leif Davis's best performance in the town shirt, dealt with everything defensively and put a good quality ball into the box. Man of the match and not even close. You're obviously close friends with Brandon. He's one of your cricket teams. He's your vice captain, as you like to say, Rich.
When he turns up.
When he turns, well, standard cricketer.
Well,
What you?
Davis had a very good game, but come on. He had nobody to mark. Let's not beat around the bush here, Matt. I could have played. Me and Martin could have played centre half yesterday against
We've
this.
heard this
They
before. I
literally
think he
had
probably could have
nothing.
done.
They had nothing. So he had the freedom of that left flank. And look, he did play well. I get that. But Connor Chaplin's man of the match. Come on.
Yeah, he was good for Connor. You can hang your hat on Connor. Leaf played very well. But again, look, take it into the opposition. Terrible. Absolutely. Can this team do it when it actually matters? Like your Bristol Rovers Tuesday night. We couldn't do it. By the way, Burton beat them yesterday 2-1 at the same ground. You know, you might argue Barton played different tactics in that, but, still, we couldn't find a way to unlock them. But can we do it in the biggies? Your Barnsley away, your Derby away, your Bolton away. It's all very well beating Forest Green. Can we do it in those games? Because that's going to decide where we finish in this table.
I agree. Completely agree. Yeah. Yesterday was an easy game. Can you do it next week, week after that? Yeah. You mentioned Connor Chaplin. Obviously, I've called him the talisman of our football team. When he plays well, we do well. When we do well, it's because he's played well.
Yeah.
Everything goes through him. Top goal scorer. He's got to play every week, is he not? I mean, Tuesday night when I was looking at the team coming through, I could have almost screamed. Why are you not playing? Rich. That was like Mick McCarthy going to Huddersfield and not playing Daryl Murphy. I did not, and I cannot, and I will not understand you ever dropping your top goal scorer. Ever.
I've said it on here before. What other team would be dropping their top scorer? You're going to Bristol Rovers. It's going to be a hard game. Now, he came on, Martin? 20 minutes to go, did he, at Bristol Rovers? Mm-hmm. Struggled to get in the game. But that sometimes happens when you're coming off the bench. Him and Broadhead should be starting every single game between now and the end of the season. Your striker, you could probably rotate that. I think he likes George Hurst, but you can't argue with Freddie's goal return. I think that's 11 in the league. Equaled Matt what he scored for Rotherham last season. So should have had another one. I do not know how he missed that header.
Yeah.
It was easier to score than it was to head wide.
How far wide did it go? You'd have had a good angle of that.
It nearly skimmed the post. Look, he should have scored. But yeah. I think he'll probably rotate that. I wouldn't be surprised if Ladapo maybe plays at MK next week. But Chaplin, what's he got now, Martin? 14 in the league, 17 in total. You say Matt Broadhead's probably too good for this league, and he is. I think he's still finding his feet. Like you said, Martin, a little bit in the WhatsApp last night. floats out the game a little bit, but he'd done the damage in the first half. He got a lovely assist, scored a goal, and I think he's a quality player. And I think the next 2 or 3 years, I think he's only going to get better. What's he got? 2 goals, 2 assists already. Fitness-wise, I suppose they've got to get him up to speed, but I want to see them on every single team sheet starting game between now and May. You know, because they can do some damage. Like you said, Martin, when we play well, when Chaplin plays well, Town play well. He is the main man. And if you look, what did he get last season? Did he get 12 goals last season? Mm-hmm. So that's like 29 goals over, a season and just over a season and a half. So he's going to hit 20 league goals. Can he get to 27 that Murphy got in the league? He's got to get another 13. That might be a little bit of a big ask. Maybe in all competitions, with the playoffs and hopefully one at Wembley. But Connor Chaplin's another player, Matt, really probably shouldn't be playing in this league. Well,
if we're in League One next season, he won't be. That's the thing, isn't it? You could get cherry picked. I was surprised Baldhead comes to Ipswich. I think he's absolute quality. Like, he gets the ball down. None of this sideways malarkey. Head down, running at a defence. We saw last week he can bang in a free kick. Really good. Absolute quality. That little turn he did on the edge of the box in the first half and had that shot, which the keeper saved.
Should have scored that.
It was good. I like that goalkeeper.
He's their best player. He's kept busy enough.
I said to Rich after the game yesterday, if like he was to move on and be number one somewhere else, I'd be looking at someone, either him or someone of that ilk, to be our backup. I thought he was decent because he got the shittest defence going in front of him. Made some right worldy saves. But but I'm surprised. Were there other clubs in for Broadhead? And the rumour was Coventry, and we've beaten them.
Sunderland, I think, were rumoured because obviously he was on loan when he there last season. Yeah,
just goes to show, doesn't it, the spending power we've got. But yeah, quality, great addition.
He's a clever player, Matt Broadhead. You can see that he's played at high level.
Yeah, really good. He's a really good player.
Stephen Perry says you can argue he was resting. I hate the phrase in February, resting.
Why are you resting players when it's muscle?
Exactly. That's why I hate the phrase resting. For me, it's a droppage. You've effectively dropped the players. You've shuffled the pack. You've dropped them from the lineup. You can use any term you want, but for me, resting in February, guys, wasn't it important Tuesday? Which is not important then? Was it a free hit? No, it was an important game. Why are we resting our top goal scorer? It just drives me crazy.
I totally agree with you. It's weird. I still don't know if the local media are asking why he does this. Have they been told not to ask it? I don't know. I'd love to know. I'd love to know the reasoning. Or is he just, as we assumed on Friday, Rich, is he just doing it because he's a young manager and trying to keep everyone happy? Maybe. Who knows?
Or sports science, the running stats are down or the drop off is down. I don't know what it is, but for me, I'm with you, Rich. They would play every week. Broadhead, I said last night, needs a bit of consistency, Matt, in the 90 minutes. He'll come in, come out, come in. And maybe he'll do that throughout his career. That's what flair players do. I mean, look at JJ Cochran.
You see that from Harness as well, don't you?
Yeah. Who I thought it was all right when he came on, actually, to be fair. People sort of said he was sloppy with the possession. I thought he looked okay when he came on.
Well, the game's won by then, isn't it?
It was won by the 4th minute, Matt.
But... Forest Green just like they were going through the motions, weren't they? I would imagine they were probably bricking it at full time to go back in and have big Dunc for him at the door. Now, here's a little story for you. After I said goodbye to him, what did I do? Walk down Portland Road. There's the coach again. Loads of people waiting for Big Duncan. I was thinking, I wonder if that kid's going to be bold enough to Barry Bannon when Big Dunk comes out. I looked around, couldn't see him.
I bet you
fancy it.
I bet. Obviously, Forest Green being so poor, was there a slight tactical change in the front lineup? Because it looked to me like Chaplin was really playing as a central second striker next to Hurst, more so than not. He was really almost on that last man, which was quite a change from what we usually are. Was that due to Forest Green being poor, or is that something we might look forward to going forward, do you think?
I don't know what you think, Rich. I thought, you're playing the bottom of the table team. You're probably a little bit more confident in getting forward, I would have thought. Yes, certainly. If he wasn't in that role, he would not have got that little through pass for the opening goal, would he? And slotted it past them.
Good finish, wasn't it? Good finish that was. Lovely ball, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, brilliant. Did you think? What did you think of Hurst yesterday then? Because it's weird, isn't it? He does the 65, whatever it is, comes off. Ladapo comes on, scores. Almost minutes later.
Hurst all right. I think I quite like him. But when you're a striker, you need. I know he scored that goal at Burnley in the cup. He's really unlucky with that one yesterday when he with a long ball when he's controlled it. and he's lobbed
A
the
bit
goal in.
skilled,
He should have scored one at the second half, Martin, up your end when he sort of he choked it into the ground, didn't he? I think he should have scored there, but I think he's done all right. But I still think Freddie Ladapo he's very unlucky to be sitting on the bench. Really, when you think since Hurst has come in, I think his game he's lifted himself, and he's obviously come on yesterday. He scored. Who plays Saturday at Milton Keynes? I think
Probably
it's Ladapo. I would have thought so. Yeah.
I think it'd be nice for Hurst to get a couple of goals yesterday. Like you say, that little chip he had gone in, that might have opened the floodgates even more, potentially. But that would have done his confidence a world a bit, I would have thought, to actually score a league goal rather than one in a cup competition.
That wasn't the easiest chance he had, though. He should have just swept it home in the second half.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying,
He choked it, didn't he, into the ground. He sort of bobbled and he cleared it off the line. When he should have scored.
And he knew it, because the moment he got the ball back, he tried to do the spectacular, and it ended up in the north stand, and then 5 minutes later, he was taken off. But that touch and chip, sublime.
Apparently, it was really good. Apparently, Terry Butcher was on co-coms yesterday on the iFollow, and he was being really critical of everybody. Like there was a few passes went straight to Burns, didn't they? And I've read a few comments of people saying he was like, I wouldn't be giving my teammate applause for that pass. I'll be giving him an earful and all that kind of stuff.
I see a comment saying he's old school. He's still old school when he's on the co-coms. And obviously, they have the people now. Look, I know that I follow commentary is good, but whoever's on co-coms, if it's a player or an ex-player, they're not really going to be too critical, I don't think, Matt. And it's nice to see someone. Look, Terry's obviously got standards because he's played. He's played at the highest level. He's probably thinking, I'm watching third-tier football here.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that comes home to roost a little bit, doesn't it? We're talking about Bobby Robson Day yesterday and all that kind of stuff, and Colin singing "Happy Birthday" to the Bobby Robson mural.
Matt's too tight to buy a program because I had to take a picture.
Do you have to tell people this?
What program was that? I had to take a picture of all the Bobby Robson stuff in and then send it to the WhatsApp group because Matt didn't want to buy £3.50.
The reasoning behind this was I would have bought it. But when I do this and pay me £3.50, as soon as I get home, having read it on the train, it's on the website. So I'm not taking the risk just to read those 5 pages. So there you go. But yeah, my point was that in the baseball, like they call the Yankee Stadium, don't they? The home that Babe Ruth built and all that kind of thing. I always think the home that Bobby built is like Portman Road. So it just comes over to Ruth playing bloody Forest Green on his 90th birthday. I'd seen us come up from non-leagues.
I've got to be in my bonnet, and so is Matt.
So
we
bring it on. Yeah, bring it on. Right,
bring it on.
Yesterday morning, right? Mark Ashton and Mike O'Leary obviously putting the flowers at the statue.
Yeah.
And then to the side, there's that bloody monstrosity, the East Anglian with bloody plastic bags littered everywhere. There's a picture of Mark Ashton and Mike O'Leary looking at Bobby's statue. And there's that in the background. It is a fucking eyesore. We've spoke about this on here before. People have moaned about us because they say, oh, why are you having a go at them? But we've said it before. We've got people coming down to this ground. You want to have a picture with an iconic statue. Bobby's there, and you've got that bloody marquee or little gazebo in the background. I don't like it.
I did move it because by the time I walked down about 1:45, it moved along. It wasn't there anymore, and it was great actually because all the Forest Green youngsters were there, wanted their photo with it. Brilliant. Yeah. I don't think they're selling the Manchester Evening News right next to the Holy Trinity statue of Lord Charlton Best outside Old Trafford. I would imagine that's probably sacrosanct. I don't know why they don't do that for Bobby, but we've mentioned this about 18 months ago.
And I would agree with you both. Fully agree with you both. And we did mention it, and we've mentioned it previously. I screenshot it, didn't I? I screenshot the moment where they sort of come round and they're about to lay it at the feet, and I'm thinking, in the fucking background is that giant eyesore of. You've
got all that room down that road now because there's no traffic go down there. So
their offices are at the bottom of the road, Rich. Well. Do you know what I mean? Like, why can't you do something where it's a walk-in service or it's out by the office? By the statue?
I mean, so come on in, all you Kings of Anglia lot. Mention this on your podcast. They're just there for a job, aren't they? They're just there for the job. So the old KOA army, get it mentioned.
I buy the bags. I've got no problem with the bags. It's just we've got the whole street. No cars can go down there because, or certainly from one direction. can we not come to a better arrangement here where, we don't.
Harry in the chat.
What's he on?
Too busy with driving tests.
Yeah. Good luck. Was that Ross? Yeah, good luck with that.
So he's like a paper. If you want one, you'll go to the shop. And still, they need to move the burger van from behind the Kevin Beattie statue too.
Legends Grill.
Legends Grill.
They've got Colin's. They've got one of Colin's posters in there now. He had a word with the guy yesterday. Yeah, he's got it up.
The fact the cameras were embarrassed and had to cut them off.
Can we mention it?
Is it all? What's that?
30th of March.
What's happening then?
Book launch evening. Come on, you know what's happening then.
Whose book?
The GOAT.
What? Tom Brady? No, seriously, who's got a book out?
Colin Plum.
What's it called?
Diary of an Obsession.
Why are you being an idiot? Why are you talking like this?
Because it's called promotion, Matthew. We're making people aware at home what's going on. What's it called?
Have you bought the book yet, Martin Lambert?
No, not yet.
Come on. Yeah. Click that Amazon link. Get it delivered.
I've got a gift card somewhere. I said that yesterday. It's just been Christmas. We've all got gift cards somewhere knocking about still. Go and find it. Go and buy it. Support the GOAT. Get yourself to the event on the 30th of March, 7 p.m. kickoff. We'll be comparing it. Don't let that put you off, though. And
I'm actually meeting Matchday tomorrow for a catch-up and some. So if you've got any stuff you want me to relay to him, you two, let me know. We're going to Cafe Nero.
Where?
Ooh. Yeah.
League of Cuffish. Ooh, I might come along. Where? No, I won't ask where on the air, don't worry.
Newmarket. We're in Newmarket. Anyone wants to come and join us?
Where do I send my invoice to for the compare? So it's not a free service we run here, guys. Got to pay for the services. Talking about paying for services or not paying for services, Missimo became Massimo. Yes.
He's there. He's back, isn't he?
And I've seen several comments today saying that it was so much better when he came on and he's got to start. I mean, what I would say is it was Forest Green. The game was won. I'd pull the reins on those horses a little bit. But how was Humphreys? How was Massimo? Who starts next week? Was he good enough to start? Is Cam needing a rest? I mean, at his age, I wouldn't say he needs a rest, but there we go. How do you feel? What's the midfield situation now? Because even the fisherman in the chat is saying against Forest Green, Morsey looked average. Not my comments. They were his. Pick it apart, gentlemen. Over to you.
They look like clones of each other, don't they? when he come off. Yeah, you're right. It was against Forest Green. But I thought he'd done all right. Luongo. It was his first league minutes since he played for Sheffield Wednesday last season. I thought he did all right. Now, whether or not over a 90-minute spell, will Morsey go, which one of them goes into that kind of enforcer role? Because I think they've both got that in their locker. I thought Cam done well. Yes, they got an assist, didn't he, for the Bullhead goal? All right, I'm thinking that was the ball into the box, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Yeah. But again, it's hard to. It's going to be a sterner test at MK next week. They gave Sheffield Wednesday a bit of a scare, didn't they? They were 2-1 up at one point. Maybe Luongo's experience might be better suited there, but I don't think Humphreys has let us down as a teenage kid. I thought he did all right yesterday. Got an assist. What more do you want from him?
Colin was saying that the tempo was raised, Rich, when he came on. Ian here, great when he came on, but they went a bit long, Luongo ball. Tux on Twitter said he'd start him, I think.
See, this is the thing, right? I thought Luongo done quite well, but we all want consistency of selection. Yet then we moan when Kieran changes it up. So we can't really be having it. I've seen people saying Luongo should start, Jackson should start instead of Burns, Ladapo should start instead of Hurst. Well, if you do that, you're making another 3 changes. I thought Cameron Humphreys had a good game. I think it was probably an ideal game for him yesterday. He got a lot of time on the ball. But he showed what a good player he is, and lovely ball for Broadhead's goal. I'll be starting Humphreys again. Let's not get carried away. This is Luongo's, like you said, Matt, his first league minutes since last season. But we need him fit. This is what we want now. We need him fit because obviously we need more options. I've heard last night saying Don Ball's getting close to fitness, so you might have him back in the mix soon. But
really, once he gets a yellow though, Rich, you're going to need Luongo, right?
I think he's only got one more game, hasn't he? And then it goes to 15. So I think next week's game, and then it'll reset again. But yeah, look, Cameron Humphreys, I think, has he done anything wrong yesterday? No. Could they play Luongo at MK? They could, because it might be a bit of a different game. The pitch ain't very good down there. I don't know if you see the England women's game the other night. They played there, and the manager was moaning about it. It's awful. The pitch is awful. So that might not suit how we want to play. You might need Luongo's tenacity, but I'd be sticking with Humphreys. I would for next week at MK. But look, we're playing MK Dons, for God's sake. We're not playing bloody Real Madrid away. So is there any
last season,
really...
when we went there.
They were a good side last year. They were a better side, weren't they?
Very good.
But Cameron Humphreys has done really well this season. He's got more games under his belt than we probably thought he would, and he's probably got more games under his belt than he probably thought he would himself. Kieran wanted him to stick around, didn't he? Could have loaned him out. And he's benefited from other people's injuries, and we're glad that he is here, and he's going to be a better player moving forward for all these games and the experience he's had this season.
100%. Yeah, 100%. 100%. I like Humphreys, Matt. I don't know why you'd want to take him out of the side. And Ian says, gone are the days when we used to pick up players who are one of our own. Not a bad thing, I suppose, but is Humph not a bit Teddy Bishop?
I think I don't know, there's something different about Humphreys in terms of, like we've said before, even before most of us have seen him play in the first team. He was like, when he'd done interviews with the development groups and under 23s or whatever, and I said to you boys then, I said, this kid looks like he could be Ipswich captain one day. There was something about him. And when he's on the ball, he's a wholly different player than Bishop. Well, Bishop was great in that first season. He had, like a decade ago, scored at Bournemouth in that 2-2. But there's something about Humphreys, you just look at him and go, he looks like he's going to be a Premier League player at some point. Hopefully he's going to be with us one day, but I don't know about that. But in terms of his own progression, he's quality, I think. Brilliant for his age. Brilliant.
He's a really tidy player. With impact, you know. So Sonny Aluko for me is a tidy player but doesn't have impact. Humphreys is a tidy player but has impact. So yesterday got the assist. He's on the stat sheet. He's on something that you can look at. You know, he's done it throughout the course of the was it Port Vale away or whoever was away
yesterday? Because you got Cameron Humphreys playing for us, and then you got obviously Charlie Savage. Matt was playing for Forest Green on loan from United.
Robbie's son was here, wasn't he, in the summer on the old YTS or whatever it is. You know,
he was, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So if you're looking at them two, you're probably thinking at the minute Humphreys is a better player than him. I know Charlie Savage is at Man United, but he's only just coming in. Whereas Humphreys, how many games has he played now? He must have played at least a dozen first-team starts for Town. So
if you look at the talent level, if Cameron Humphreys had been a school kid in Manchester with exactly the same talent level on the radar of those clubs, he'd probably be in the Man United system. But Savage is just someone who's in the Man United system, doesn't it? That means any better than Cameron. Just been spotted locally. Probably Robbie Savage has put a word in, having been through their youth academy himself. You know, I think Cameron, wherever Cameron had been brought up, whether it be Manchester, Liverpool, wherever, he's that good. He'd be in anyone's academy. Just thankfully, he was born in Halstead and made it to us, not Norwich's.
Brandon Cut out of the assist. I thought Humphreys was a bit negative on the ball. A handful of times refused to put the ball into the box. Okay. I didn't see it that way. But, I know there was an instance where Hurst was having a raised voice conversation with him.
He probably heard it with how quiet the crowd was.
About the speed of the ball or the willingness to put that ball into that area. Yeah. But for me, I don't know how you two feel. When you have that on the football pitch, it's great. But I turned to my nan who I go with and I said, this is why you want to play your players together. Because you learn how each other plays. So there's an instance, again, later on down the right, where Broadhead fed in Burns, and the ball was just slightly not what Burns wanted. But the more you play your players together, the more they understand where the run's coming from, the direction, the diagonal, the speed of the pass needs to be. But if you keep chopping and changing, you don't build that chemistry, do you?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I'm totally agree. You saw it a little bit when Edwards came on. He had a little run down the centre of the pitch, tried to put someone in and overhits it, or they didn't make the run or whatever it was. I can't remember now. I mean, we're
dark down there, Matt. Very dark.
Let me tell you, I've got the sun coming through the old extension here. Yeah, if I go do this,
I am your father, Luke.
yeah. Dark
but
times.
It's chemistry, isn't it not? In this point of the season, this is when you've normally built that, and you're seeing the
rest. I said that on Friday, didn't I? It's about partnerships, and if you look at centre half, we probably chopped and changed that down that side. Last season, Burns and Danassi and Matt had a good partnership going down the right. Now you've got Harry Clark in, so he's got to learn to play with Burns. You've got
I
Broad.
mean, you're 100% right. Did you see them couple of passes he gave Burns yesterday? Just Terry Butcher said they went out for throws. Ridiculous. I mean, literally a 10-yard pass, right? 10 to 15-yard pass. Couldn't find a blue shirt. That annoyed me a little bit. Like you said, Martin, you've got to keep your standards, even if you're playing absolute dog opposition, as we were yesterday.
Yeah, but they should be 3 or 4 games in now. Why didn't he play Tuesday?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like you've either seen enough of JD to say, I want to go and spend a couple of £1 million on a right back, or you haven't. I don't. Honestly, every time I see Greg Lee over Leif Davis, not often recently, admittedly, it baffles me because one was worth 1.5, one's a free transfer. Doesn't mean he's a better player, but you surely saw something to go and get him despite having Greg Lee here. It's like modern football just confuses the fuck out of me. It really does.
Yeah, no.
Like,
yeah.
What we do? Yeah. Why is Harry Clark not playing Tuesday? Someone tell me that. I've not been on a show since last week. Someone tell me why Harry Clark's not playing Tuesday. What was that about?
Yeah.
Then when you came on, he played left back. Then when he came on, he played left back.
Which I couldn't believe when I heard about it. I didn't watch the game because I was Valentine's in my wife.
So the fact we played Donatian, did McKenna think that Bristol Rovers were going to have a go at us or something? Because obviously Clark is a lot more attacking than Donatian, and he's got a shot in his locker. Really good throw as well, isn't he? Into his game. It's just weird. Maybe they just, I don't know. Maybe
sometimes, guys, it's like Sunday morning. Chuck the kit in the middle of the room. Who gets the kit first? That's the first 11. That's what it feels like sometimes. Martin Pert walks in, chucks the kit in the middle of the room, leaves the room, comes back. Right, who's got 1 to 11? Out you go. That's what it feels like sometimes. It's like, what are we doing?
What was this? Someone grabbed the shirt you didn't want, not you.
Yeah, not you. They say, come here a minute. I want to talk to you. Come here a minute. You know, Dominic Dean brings up Burns. He's on my bit of paper here. Burns v Jackson. Lots of chat after the game about that.
Yeah.
I can probably tell how Rich will go without even asking him. But Dominic Dean says Burns too predictable now. He's lost if he comes inside. Should have scored before he went off. Didn't. Is it time for my man, KJ?
People have got such short memories.
Is he too predictable?
So what have you done for me lately, League Richard Moss? What
Hang on.
have you done for me lately?
What has Caden Jackson actually done then? He played 2 decent appearances, and now everybody suddenly wants him in the team after for 4 years we've been saying he's shit.
I haven't.
Come on. Wes Burns has got enough credit in the bank. And we keep saying about we want the partnerships to build. We want partnerships. You want selection to be consistent. And now we're wanting Jackson to play on the right. We're wanting Luongo to play in the middle. No, let's just keep the same team. Unless you have injuries, why do we need to be changing the team?
I do agree that Jackson has done well enough to be knocking on the door. Certainly against championship opposition, Rich, in those cup games. I mean, look, it's noticeable, isn't it? Because he's got the pace. I don't know if it would have been a race between Wes and Jackson. Probably Jackson would probably edge it, I think. But to say Burns is predictable, I mean, what's his objective? Get the ball out wide, beat the fullback, get across into the box. I mean, that's his role, isn't it?
That is some great half-time content, you know.
What's that?
Just waiting to happen. Who would win in a race? KJ versus Burns.
Used to get stuff like that in the 80s. They'd like for the cup final, they'd have like what they think is the 10 quickest players. And then have a race. Find out who it was.
I'm here for that.
Yeah.
I'm here for that sort of content.
Yeah.
That would.
I think when Caden come on yesterday, again, he looked really good. But again, game was won. Resignation from Forest Green. But he has proved himself in that role, Rich, in that Burnley home game, didn't he? Like you said, he was probably man of the match in that week.
2 games. Wes Burns has been doing it for a season and a half. He got player of the year last year.
Yeah.
What did he get? 12 goals last year. His assists and goals this season are not that bad when you look at last season compared.
Well, everything was on his shoulders last season, wasn't it? Because we had no left-sided threat. And, McKinnon's done all right.
But we don't. Brandon says, I think the way I fit. What did he put Brandon's comment out there about?
No. I'm not missing him.
I'll be back. I think the way I feel, if you are going to rotate, is but we don't want to keep rotating. This is what we've just been saying.
But he will do, though, won't he? That's the thing. He will.
I don't know. Maybe he needs to be consistent in selection now. The penny needs to drop because we've got 14 games to go.
Well, something has changed, Rich, because we've suddenly started going more direct from our set pieces, so our throws and our crosses. So in sense of like before Christmas, free kick on the halfway line, you would never have Wolfenden and Burgess up. Suddenly, every chance you're getting your 9-foot centre half up the field, and we're suddenly playing a little bit more in that respect, like a Rotherham, like a Paul Warne side, like a League One. Don't fuck about playing it across your box. let's get it into the mixer and let's see what happens. So things are changing.
Yeah. So you should. If you have a free kick, put it in the box. Oh, look.
We didn't know. We were all so pretty, weren't we?
Oh, look, there's a header down from Burgess and the Dapo nods it in. Not rocket science, is it?
It's like rocket science, isn't it? I know.
Not that hard.
But
I've been
you
critical
say
of
it's not that
Burgess,
hard.
haven't I? I've been critical of Burgess, but it was nice to see him get a little assist for that guy.
Hang on. Critical? You said he should never play for the club again.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It was, look, against Forest Green, he got an assist. Nice one, Cameron. Like, I wish him all the best, but against Oxford in the fog, couldn't deal with it, could it? I'm interested, Martin, in your what have you done for me lately thing. Because the stats is, McKenna, 5 wins in 16.
What have you done for
Where are you sitting on the fence here, either side? Is the grass green or do you keep what you got? 5 wins in 16. What have you done for me lately?
Do you know, before yesterday, I may have moved before yesterday. Everything's trending downwards. You've got your captain arguing with your fans.
Yeah.
You've got a 0-0 draw away at Bristol Rovers. Don't disrespect Bristol Rovers. They're hardly Bristol's. No, they even City are shit. They're just... Everything was trending. I was telling you two on Friday night, and I was saying before the game, this is not a team sitting fourth from the table. This is a team that feels like we're sitting fourth from bottom. It's all starting to turn in on itself. It's imploding. It's not good. It's a bit of a mess in reality.
You spent your 5 mil. You've now gone down the table.
You know, I've never seen a team sitting in fourth have its captain demonstrate with its fans. I never have. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I've never seen that ever.
Yeah, it's hard to at a moment. Yeah, I agree.
Do you want some free word takeaways?
We certainly do. Let me get the old clock on the go, and there will be a link coming shortly. I haven't forgotten it. But as it was a 4-0 comfortable win, I didn't think we'd have that much ready to sort of, pile in on. But there is one coming. How many can you do in a minute, do you think?
Well, I've got about 50, so I could go through all of them. I could be quick.
I don't really want 50, Rich. I mean...
Well, if you give me a minute, see how many we get in.
A minute on the clock starts now.
So we've got Trevor Ebanks. Freddie scored again. Ben Moore's return. Soray swaps Plymouth wheels up. Kevin Story about bloody time. Graham Wigg. Less team changes. Peter Healy. Don't rotate the side. Christine Smith. Keep the consistency. Blue and true since 82. It's Forest Green. Kev Rose. Keep it up. Ipswich. The lifeboats here. Peter Dowling, same again, please. SB, Stock on a Chaplin, Will Toy, Luongo's intensity promising. Owen DG, none. Early goal critical. Rob Wise, automatic, not gone. Ben, much improved urgency. Moby, could have been 10. Dave Strang, another false dawn. Samantha, I enjoyed it. Richard Burke, Broadhead's first touch. Mark Ford, weirdly underwhelming trouncing. You'd probably say that, Matt, wouldn't you? Barry O'Brien, onwards and upwards. Richard Driver, keep it going. Graham, consistency needed now. Keith Dono, keep that team. Adam Pettit, keep it going. Martin Brightwell, keep it going. Nick Costello, Broadhead looks glass. Chris Porter, time will tell. RPS Media.
Second minute here.
Second minute, yeah.
Jane Fairweather, thanks to Bobby. Jenny Chaplin wanted 3. There you go. Ian Davis. Freddie's missed header. And Billy Baxter with the best one, Chaplin Vegan Feast.
Love it. Thank you very much. Great ones. I love those. Keep them coming in. We'll do those every week. But I think Billy probably wins that one. It's quite a decent little one, to be fair.
If you were Chaplin, would you be annoyed to be taken off when you're on? I was going to say mine. Would you be annoyed to be pulled off? But that might be a bit rude. That's the 4th time he's got 2 this season, anyway.
And he's been taken off.
Is it the 4th time he's been subbed on the 2 goals?
Normally gets subbed. And I think he probably he made the first lot of subs, and then I think Connor probably knew that he'd probably get another 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I think he probably knew that he'd go off if he didn't get his hat trick there.
Yeah.
But he's got 2.
Funny, a week in football. Last week we could have shot him after he missed the pen. This week back to the Connor we all love. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I wouldn't have him on penalties. He's a fantastic player, but he's not a penalty taker in a month.
The thing that made me laugh last week was he misses the pen, but then he's on target with that volley over the top of his shoulder, which was an amazing piece of skill. But it just goes to show, doesn't it? Instinct over.
He's got to be on for Player of the Year, Matt Chaplin.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's been on this show. That's worth a few Player of the Year points.
And then, of course, Christian Walton nearly proves Matt Phillips right.
Oh dear! I was waiting for the WhatsApp.
The goddamn 2-touch. Told you.
Coming. It's getting closer.
That's right in front of the benches, wasn't it?
Playing left back.
Yeah.
Left back, wasn't it?
The
To
goddamn-
me, it's now a matter of when it happens and how important it is, other than if it happens. Because it's getting closer, it's getting closer, it's getting closer.
But look, even top goalkeepers have done it. Edison's done it this season for Man City. Alisson's done it for Liverpool. They all try it. So they're going to get, if this is the way you want to play, somewhere along the line, you'll probably come unstuck. Let's hope it's when we're winning 3-0 in a game, Matt.
I wonder why he insists on it. Do you think he's been caught out in the past or something? We're like trying to kick the ball first time and like he made a mistake or whatever. So the two touches.
Question for both of you. If we get promoted,
Ipswich,
would you be looking for another goalkeeper?
I
know who I would
play this way.
Interesting.
Ah.
There's your answer.
There's your answer. Let me just put Chaplin's vegan feast on mute.
As in, like, are we saying first choice? Nod, Rich. Are we looking at as a first choice?
I'm back.
Are you back?
Good.
First choice. First choice keeper.
Well, yeah, possibly. If you wanted to play this way, this type of football, at a higher level,
You've torn me now, because my initial reaction was yes, and I've got the man on, not personally, but I've got the man on speed dial.
who?
You know who. Don't even pretend we don't know who.
Well, I want a goalkeeper who's good with his feet. Bart was fucking terrible with his feet.
Well, that's why I've just said you've torn me here, because my first reaction was yes, there's better keepers out there. But now you say you want to play with your feet.
You only have to look when. Look, I know we're looking at high level. You only have to look when Pep comes to Man City. And he had Joe Hart then. Joe Hart was a really good goalkeeper. He played for England, obviously. But he binned him off because he was not good with his feet.
Bear in mind, Walton's not a McKenna signing.
True.
You know.
Did he not sign him though? Because he was on
loan.
loan.
The loan was in play. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, the loan was in play. He could have gone Luton, we were told.
Could have done.
McKenna did actually. We paid like the nominal fee. I'd argue if you would go on a keeper with feet, he's already in the building in Heladki. But for whatever or not, he's not. He's not
as good a goalkeeper. You do need to be as good of, if not better, goalkeeper. Like that still matters. I know in modern football that seems not to matter, but it does.
Well, I think if we go if Ipswich get up, right, and McKenna's the gaffer,
again,
we'll keep his place.
I would go more centre halves first before I'd go more back line before I go goalkeeper.
Yeah,
right?
I probably agree with that.
Somebody to go alongside Wolfie. I still think Wolfie would make a fantastic holding midfield player.
Not Richard Keogh.
15 years ago, but fuck off. No. Where's Fridge gone? Where's he gone? Back in the old manufacturer? Is he injured again? What's wrong with him?
Ankle.
Fuck's sake. Didn't see that. Didn't know that. So he's injured. So who was on the bench defensive cover yesterday? Was it Keogh?
JD.
Of course, yeah, JD. JD's not a bad centre half, to be fair. But I wouldn't play him as centre half. But yeah, I'll start there.
He's if it comes again, Championship.
Brandon says James Trafford or Mike Cooper. Trafford's a good goalkeeper at Bolton.
See, if you can go get Mike Cooper, if regardless of what happens with Plymouth, you could go and prize Mike Cooper away from Plymouth, then I'd bring him down in the car. I'd go and get him. I think he's a great goalkeeper.
Would you want to go in your car?
Your car needs a wash as well. You get pulled
You ain't got to wash your car in February. All the grit and the dirt and the shit. You just let it go, and then in March and April, you can wash it. It's fine. There's a picture of Kevin Hurst with the statue up. There's a great picture of my car in the background. It's like that's where the real money is, right there.
Circled it, didn't you?
Absolutely, I did. Absolutely, I love seeing my car in videos and pictures.
Working on the premise, Ipswich get promoted out of the playoffs, right? It's far out premise that they go up in the playoffs. Are you thinking they'd be like overhaul the players? Or are you just adding to what you've got? Or suddenly are we back into Ashton's playing?
You need more quality if you go up because you're going to be playing in a higher division. So you'll need better play. Anyone who thinks
this team's good enough for the Championship already, I'm told.
I've heard that, but it's nonsense.
Of course it isn't. If it was, it'd be top already and promoted.
Well, exactly. But we beat Rob because they play different style in the Championship. See, and we haven't got that style in League One. So everyone tells me. People say I'm negative, right? A few people I was chatting to yesterday said we wouldn't even make the playoffs. I didn't even know I haven't gone that far.
And tell everyone about yesterday, what the steward said to you.
Yeah. So they do I had a quick drink before I went, made a call, went to the toilet, come out, and I was like the last person in the block now, right? So they're waiting to do their steward checks. I come out, and the geezer goes, "Hope you're happy after today's result on the show for tomorrow. Make sure you're smiling." I was smiling. I said, "Don't tell anyone you see me smiling. Do you understand?" Yeah. Well, there we go.
You do that, do you?
Yeah, I
Well,
was fine. I was happy with the result yesterday, absolutely. But yeah, it's all in context, isn't it? You've beaten Forest Green Rovers. Woo! Everyone's beaten Forest Green Rovers. What we do against the teams around us is where we're gonna finish.
It is. Right, let's Stephen Parry, there he is, the man, the myth, the
that's
legend.
How you doing?
He's the Parry fence.
Is it spring-like up in Chorley?
Sort of. Well, it's north. It's north, isn't it? Always looks like Iceland up here.
It's like 100 degrees in this window.
No, I was just thinking about what you were saying before about that comment about Ipswich still getting top two. You know, is it likely? No. Is it possible? Yes. You know, I think the next 3 games are going to be quite interesting because we've got 3 winnable games, and I know people will go, well, they're not winnable. No, they're not. But we're more than capable of winning them. You know, they're all 3 sides that are struggling, and they're the teams we should be beating. You know, and you look at Plymouth, they've got teams like Barnsley and Derby, and they've got Posh next week after they've got an EFL semi-final. You know, so they'll not want to miss a trip to go to Wembley. So they've got a midweek game before they play Posh. And Posh at home is not an easy game to play.
No.
You know. So by the end of these 3 games that we've got, if we win all these 3 games, the league could look very much different. And that could put us into, you know, yeah, we've still got to play Barnsley and Bolton. But I don't fear Barnsley and Bolton because they're not going to play like bloody Bristol Rovers. They're going to play like Sheffield Wednesday. They're just not as good as Sheffield Wednesday. So, if all these people who are saying, well, Barnsley's there, Derby's there, none of them teams have beaten us yet, and you could argue we should have beaten all of them. You know, we just, for one reason or another, we didn't. You know, we had the Harness disallowed goal at Barnsley, you know, and Morsey missed the sitter at Bolton. So, they don't scare me, these teams, and we're stronger than what we were then. I do think it's a bit, you know, we're always trying to put a negative spin on everything. You know, we just had a 4-0 win and everyone's going, it's only Forest Green. Well, like Richard, it was only Cheltenham Town. It was only Cambridge. You know, all these teams you'll go, well, it's only, you know, when they go badly. But now we're doing it when we win. I know it's only Forest Green, but you've still got to win. If you want to go, you've got to beat these teams. And we did. And we did it bloody convincingly. You know, that shouldn't have been 4-0. That should have been 8-0. You know, we were still profligate. And there's still things that we can work on. But I thought some of them players, you know, Clark I thought was excellent. Davis was excellent. I think, you know, even Hurst was excellent. Ladapo, when he come on, was excellent. But I think Broadhead and Chaplin, they, like Rich said, have to start every single game. They were sensational. The movement, the space. And not forget, you know, I know...
Can I just come on in that? Brandon, I had to get my missus a glass of water. I wasn't making a cup of tea.
Oh, loves it, yeah.
I love Stephen Parry. I love all the comments saying that... What did Carl Brooks say? They make houses on the piss up in Chorley. Leading tower of area.
They fall off them very quick. No, but I was just saying, they've got to play every week. And, you know, realistically, you know, we've got Ball coming back. He's back on the grass. TJJ's got flu, so he won't be back till this week. You know, and Cameron's also back on the grass. You know, so we've got to think about it. Although we look like this now, in 3 or 4 weeks' time, you know, if we can get these 3 games, and maybe if luck goes with us, cut a few points down and get it to like 3 or 4 points with 10 games to play, you know, with players coming back in like Cameron and Ball and John Jones, it could make it a lot more interesting than what we're actually thinking about it now. You know, so
fair enough.
I just think we need to stay a little bit more upbeat. You know what I mean? Because
I'm not surprised you think we need to stay more upbeat, Steve. I'm really not.
No, like I said, I'm not saying it's possible. It's going to be. We've got a narrow path, yeah, to get to the top 2, yeah, and we can't afford any slip-ups. We know what we've got to do. We know how we've got to do it, and all we have to do now is go out and do it. But you know, even if we don't, I don't worry about the playoffs because those teams in the playoffs will not play like Cambridge, will not play like Lincoln, they won't play like, they'll play like Sheffield Wednesday. they will want to come at us. And we all know what the playoffs are. They're not like league games. They're like one-off cup games. And we ain't been doing too bad in one-off cup games this season. So I don't really have a fear about the playoffs. So I think there's a lot more to be positive about than negative. You know, I was a bit down on the manager. I do think he has issues. I do think he needs to keep a more settled 11. I think he changes it a bit too much. But, you know, you only have to look at what happened to Wigan. They're on the third manager now because they're buckled and kicked Liam Richardson out. You know what I mean? I don't want that. You know, we could spiral out of control if we got rid of McKenna and get the wrong one in. You know, I know Matt was going on about Carl Robinson. Well, he didn't do much against Cambridge yesterday, so he's not exactly great, is he? You know, have we got the best?
To our players.
Why not?
Well, he's never spent a penny.
So what?
We've spent 5 million.
Look,
This season alone.
Well, he hasn't just spent 5 million, has he? Because we've sold as well. You know, so you're talking about gross spend. Talk about net spend, which is probably about 2 to 3. Yeah, because we've got 2 million coming from Downs' sale.
Well,
so
you've got the wages on top.
Well, wages aren't counted in transfer spend.
It all adds up to a lot of money, Steve, is what I'm bloody saying.
A lot of the old.
Maybe it does, but that's what they decided to do. And they also decided to hire McKenna. You know, I just think it'd be pointless getting rid of him now when they hired him for a rebuild. They got Paul Cook to do the...
Can I come in there, Steve? So
Yeah,
Matt's moaning about McKenna spending money. What would you make of Graham Potter at Chelsea then, Matt?
Yeah, I know. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, bad fit. Look, Carl Robinson hasn't got the ingredients that Kieran McKenna's got, has he? He's having to make.
What's Carl Robinson ever done?
He's got Milton Keynes promoted out of League One into the Championship.
Yeah, but why hasn't the Championship club sniffed him out? All these Championship clubs that have sacked their manager, why haven't they gone for Carl Robinson? For me, that says exactly. For me, that says more, about not getting him than getting him. Because if nobody else wants,
been a manager since he was about 29.
It wasn't so long back. You wanted the bloody Coleys. Now look at them. They're on the...
He still fucking does, Steve.
Still
Don't
do.
let him trick you with that. Don't let him trick you with the old Carl Robinson chat. He still would love the Cowley.
You get a little bit of Essex in there. That's
They're
it.
going down the
Right.
bloody job centre again.
Not
No,
for
come
long.
on.
Good
How many
managers,
times do you have
Right.
to flog a dead horse? We've got McKenna. Let's stick with McKenna. Let's get this rebuild. I'd like to see him have this season, summer transfer window, see who we pick up, and then give him, like Moore has, give him into next year. Because I think we're like what you said, Matt, when you were talking to Sheffield Wednesday fans. We are like Wednesday last year. We're a good side. We're just drawing too many. You know, and Darren Moore took his side, developed it over the summer, and suddenly turned a side that was good into a side that was practically unbeatable. I'd like to see McKenna do the same.
Okay. Steve, as always, a pleasure talking to you.
Yes, Steve.
And you look after yourself. We're going to finish with Colin. Colin.
Quickly, I've got my
hang on.
jukebox.
Sorry, Colin.
I've got my jukebox on for Friday already. This Titanic theme.
Yes, my heart will go on.
Get Colin back on, will you?
Just because you don't. Right, here we go. Go on, then.
You're
Over
back,
to you,
Colin. You're back. How you doing? You had a hangover today after all them drinks, birthday drinks.
No, I was absolutely fine, mate. Absolutely fine.
How was Zen Noodle?
Zen noodles.
Oh, that was absolutely beautiful. That was Andy's idea, and we went away into town
Nice.
and brought back the most beautiful takeaway going.
Where did you eat it? Upstairs or down?
Downstairs. Hey. No, it's lovely. Lovely. Where's he gone?
Family show here, gentlemen. Family show. Keep it on the football, not on the Zen
Anyway.
noodles. Although, how are the Zen noodles? I've never heard of them before. Where is
Chelsea.
it?
Nice.
Oh, let's not get onto takeaway chat because Martin's kebab voice
Oh,
notes.
my
the
God,
other
yeah,
night were
that's
classic.
just died on me.
Chicken kebab with barbecue sauce.
He basically ate someone else's order, then the bloke come round to get it back.
Twice. And he's still going the wrong one. Who orders a chicken kebab?
You only
with
gave him one
barbecue
back, didn't
sauce in
you?
it?
You only gave him one back because you'd opened the other one.
Yeah. That was a conversation in itself when he was trying to, demonstrate that he wanted this kebab back that I'd opened already, mate. You don't want it back? We're going to
It
give
was
it
on a
two.
plate, wasn't it?
Yes, the dog was eating it.
No wonder he's always at the bloody
He
vet.
eats everything else, including Colin the caterpillar. But no, who has
No,
barbecue sauce on their kebab? What monster? What monster does this, I ask you? Don't start me, man. You've ruined my night.
Yeah,
Anyway,
right.
Colin, over to you.
Colin. Thoughts on yesterday?
Yeah, they're lovely prawn balls and prawn old crackers and crackers and that lovely sauce over the top and all the rice and that. Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, it was a tremendous day yesterday, and all in all, from the moment I left my house and went on the train and everything, and with those, yeah. But he's just like 4 foot away, Rich. No, it's a bit of a laugh, and she knows about it. Photo took in that. And signed a few books outside the North Stand. I was a bit embarrassing, if I'm honest, but nice. And then the club photographer come across. So I was signing one of the stewards. He's a lovely man, Justin.
Oh yeah.
And he's coming to the launch, Rich. You'll know him. He's a lovely bloke. I signed his book, and then the photographer asked me to, stand there where Bobby was with the.
You had Lee Anderson's. You had Lee Anderson's kebab.
No, because it wasn't a mixed kebab. I wish it was. It was just a plain old chicken one.
Yeah, it's barbecue sauce on it.
We need a little signing table for you next to the Alf.
We do.
Ramsey statue.
Get
We've found a perfect little space for you. We'll get it all set up. Little chair, big Hugh. People come and get their.
Well, I must admit, boys, I'm absolutely so looking forward to this. I've got a chance now to officially say it like on here, Matt, obviously, yourselves, and anybody else has helped me. I thank you so much, and I'm so looking forward to this evening, especially you boys doing the presenting, because you do a brilliant job. I was just saying that you're great mates. You do a great job, all three of you. I love you all. I love everybody else who comes on here. And I'm just hoping that most people turn up, which I'm sure they will do, all being well. People have other things to do, I know, and this, that, and the other. But really look forward to it. And like I said to Rich yesterday and yourselves, I had a little sneaky peek up there yesterday. I haven't been up there for a long while. And they've done that place out so beautiful. And just on the back wall is this magnificent. The whole wall is a picture. I just say it as a Bobby. And how they've done that, and how they've done that room is truly fantastic. And I'll tell you what, we saw, and I know I am, I know we all are, we should be extremely grateful to the club that we're actually getting that suite, because it's the best suite in the club. There's no doubt about that, and everybody is going to really thoroughly enjoy that. I'm glad I had a little peeky look yesterday, because that's brilliant.
I was going to say, how delighted were you when we scored on the 78th within about 5 seconds of the clap starting? We'd scored, didn't we?
I was, it's like I heard Mark Murphy on the radio this morning. He was saying as if that's coming from heaven. Bobby was doing his little bit. And then they hit the post on 81. That would have been the most unbelievable couple of events for me, probably in my lifetime watching the club. If that would have went in, I mean, it was good enough that the fact we scored in 78, everybody was going mental. I'm sure they were around you lot. And but I sit next to this lady now who does the programs, and she's lovely. She's lovely, and she's hopefully coming to the launch. She's quite old, but she's a lovely lady, and I always give her a hug when we score. She loves that. She's about, I don't know, she's probably in her 70s. Yeah, she's lovely. And also, I went in the reception yesterday, and there's a lady in there again. I told her my age yesterday. That was my birthday. I always have a chat with her. And she said, I can give you 10 years. I said, oh, great. I said, you don't look like that, being a smoothie I am.
Smoothie, Colin.
And I gave her a little kiss, and she ordered my book. I actually saw her do it on her phone. Another lady was giving her a little bit of a hand, but she ordered my book when I was in there. So that was good.
Is this like a little preview for Town TV? Are we sort of Mark Ashton could be watching this, couldn't he, Martin, when we're on stage this at the launch?
Mark, call me.
Did you like Colin?
I can ditch these two. Just call me.
Yeah, cheers. Colin, did you watch the half-time thing on the screen with all the Bobby Robson tributes?
Do you know what? I actually didn't. No, I actually didn't because
I'll send it to you. Don't worry, it's free. Unlike that program that Matt was taking the pictures up. I'll send it to you, mate.
They stuck it on YouTube.
I'll say, mate.
Yeah, it's on the Town Twitter feed. They put it on there.
Brilliant. Very good.
No, that was obviously the time, Matt. I went and had a sneaky look up and had a chat with Walkie.
Oh, was that when you went up there? Was it? Yeah.
What I didn't understand is why couldn't they do what they do in American football? They set up a temporary stage within minutes, get these people actually on the pitch, saying what they were saying, and then get it down. Like in American football, you get 10 minutes in most normal games.
On that pitch, you can put a stage on that pitch. You'd probably sink.
Oh, of course you can. Probably, yeah. The amount they water it, but half the stadium can't hear the screen.
We can't see it from your.
So we know poor old Stephen Foster gets a lot of stick, and why ain't Dave outside coming in and doing it? You could get Noel Edmonds in that stadium. You can't hear him half the time, so it don't matter who's doing the comparing, does it? With Mr. Blobby.
Is he your number one go-to broadcaster? Is he?
No, he just scratches my head. Does he?
I think he does.
Get the old banker on the line. You get him.
I mean, that's incredible.
Mr. Blobby. You can get anybody. It doesn't matter who you get. You can't hear them, so it's absolutely irrelevant.
I've got a crinkly bottom sitting in that Cobbold stand, by the way.
What's that?
I said I've got a crinkly bottom sitting in that Cobbold.
You would do, mate. It is a bit of a
Colin, you going MK? You going MK next week?
Yeah, we're going to MK. We're off to MK next Saturday. I've got a shout out to Mike Baker yesterday for those 2 lovely presents he gave me.
Hang on. Rewind. Who gave you the shirt, Colin?
You did, Rich.
There you go. Thanks to Mike Baker. Look, he gave it to me, but it was Colin's birthday. Colin's got a shed, so he gave us, didn't he? He gave you a tanker that Kevin Beattie had that was his, and the playoff shirt from when we lost to Bolton in the 98-99, Richard Naylor's shirt, all signed.
Tremendous.
Unbelievable. Bam Bam.
Gesture.
Bam Bam. Do you like Bam Bam, Mine?
Moments, yeah.
Well, Wembley Stadium.
What?
Yeah.
Best ever game.
He's like, you know, when you think about Bam Bam, I mean, he actually whipped his shirt
I don't often
off.
think of Bam Bam, to be fair, Colin. No, it's not bad. He's not one of the favourite players I sit there and think back and I'm so glad I watched.
No. I know what you're saying, but I'll never forget that.
If he's free for the next couple of weeks, he can sit and watch with me, couldn't he?
Okay. Carry on, Colin, about Bam Bam.
That goal he scored at Wembley was an absolute superb finish.
But Colin, can you talk to me about the 2 misses against Arsenal in the Premier League? Behind that goal.
Yeah.
2. Should have beaten them. 1-1. Dennis Bergkamp scored, didn't he?
Yeah. Titus passed it 2, didn't he?
That shirt, Rich, delivery. That was extra large, wasn't it?
Well, it was extra large outwards, but then quite short.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, it's got some good signatures on there, Rich. I do thank you very much for that, my friend. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to have to. I'll send you pictures today of the tank, and then I'll put it up on the top of my wall unit next to my dad's picture. Brilliant. And I'll sit there next to my dad. Lovely. I'm going to get some silver polish and polish it up properly.
Lovely.
I'm going to do.
Good work. Yeah. Colin, enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
Thank you, my friend.
Happy birthday.
Lovely.
Look after yourself.
Happy birthday, Colin.
Lovely, brilliant show as usual. And can't wait to see you all the next time.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Absolutely. Enjoy your week. All the best, my man.
Bye-bye.
Bye. I had an old guy sit behind me who used to always shout every game, "Play up, Richard Naylor." So every time I hear Richard Naylor, I think of his voice. I just hear that voice, loud as you clear and clear as you like. Play up, Richard Naylor.
That Bergkamp goal was Richard Wright's.
It was a very old Suffolk accent.
Matt's the king of accents, isn't he?
He is. Go on, Matt. Play up, Richard Naylor. Go on. Give us your best.
I'm just trying to think back to that Bergkamp goal. I keep thinking it was the one Bramble gave away, but that was Thierry Henry, wasn't it? This was off Richard Wright, and he tapped it in, didn't he?
Yeah, down the Churchman's end. But Naylor missed 2 absolute sitters that day, didn't he?
Yeah.
The only Bergkamp goal I ever remember is one against Newcastle with Nicolas Babizas still trying to turn himself the right way around, bless him.
98 World Cup against Argentina?
Yeah, what a goal. I remember the hat he got against Leicester when he was at Arsenal. Yeah. Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, but Casey Keller that day, not his greatest performance in the goal, was it? Like,
he was sticking him in top bins. He done the one where he flicked it and then popped it in.
You've got to narrowly angled over it, shouldn't you?
Matt Elliott was playing then for Leicester. I liked him for Town.
Me too.
Yeah. We could do a Matt Elliott now centre back.
I suppose that's what that Keogh role's supposed to be, but it's not quite.
Oh, shut up.
Is it?
Shut up. Behave. Just because they're both in their latter years, you can't compare the two players.
Yeah.
He's more. Who's the other player from Leicester? Knockout?
Steve Walsh.
Steve Walsh was like one of the dirtiest players ever.
No, we had him on loan. Kisnorbo.
Yes.
He's more Kisnorbo than Elliott is old Keogh. Let's be honest.
Signing. Anyway, well done, Mick McCarthy yesterday. He got his first win for Blackpool. 1-0.
What did Warnock do?
They won 2-1. They beat Birmingham.
Warnock, man. Missed the boat there, but never mind.
Again, consistently and constantly missing the boat with Warnock. Did you hear about Bolton before we went live and their stadium announcement?
What is it called? There's some building firm of
Tough Sheets.
Tough Sheets.
Tough
Community Stadium.
Yeah.
Tough Sheets Community Stadium.
Tim Pot.
What the hell?
Awful.
It's a 5-year deal. Tough Sheet. SHEET. Tough.
I still call it
that'll go well, won't it?
That's brilliant.
It's always the Reebok, Matt. It will always be.
And now we go to the Tough Sheet Stadium, where Bolton have won again. But there we go. Yeah.
This time ain't going to be tough shit when we get out there, whenever it is.
They won't be playing the under-12s this time.
No.
It could be a run back, you know. It could be a Bolton semi, a Barnsley final. It could be a run back.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah. Interesting.
Will it have the same results?
Will we have Barry Knight refereeing? That's what I want to know.
Hope so. Get him out quick. Get him out there. Get him on the grass, McKenna. Get him on the grass.
Great performance that night. It was brilliant.
The thing is, like, every decision was right. Every decision was spot on the money.
It was. If you actually look back on the game, he actually got. Was it the last penalty when he sort of does a wrestling throw on David Johnson?
Yeah.
And then he says, "What's that for?"
Yeah. Do you know what? That was one of the most bravest refereeing decisions I think I've ever seen, and I probably will ever see, because after the first one or two, you could have been so easy just to hide and not give it, but every decision was spot on, and he stuck to it. And
I did actually think the Mike Whitlow red card was a little bit harsh the first one, because he gives him a straight red.
I could never like Mike Whitlow.
No, he's horrible. He's a horrible piece of shit. But
we were loving it because of the season before when they'd beaten us. When it on away, was it away goals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before that was the Blades, wasn't it? 2 years in a row with Sedgley's free kick off the L of the post in the bar. Oh, mate, there you go. Charlton with Jamie Clapham's own goal in the first half at home. Did Sean Newton score in the return leg?
He scored. I went to that. He scored an absolute worldie right in the top corner. 1-0.
There we go. Those are the times. Rob Holmes, bloody Dean Holsworth always scored. Yes. Well, Richard Wright that day as well wasn't the greatest performance, was it? Like dropping, bobbling.
Holsworth ran over to where I was sitting doing this.
Is that when he scored the free kick?
Yeah.
The free kick in.
What a game! It's a foul, is it not? On the goalkeeper.
No, he dropped the ball. Dropped it.
He did drop it, and he was nervous that day. Big nerves.
Anyway, if the playoffs are anything like that this season, we will be having,
kittens.
Yeah, pretty mildly.
Kittens. Yeah. Right, here's the cruncher. That's the media mogul, who's smiling, by the way, as we end the show. So it must be a Town win weekend. The sun is shining. Enjoy the Sunday. We're back on Wednesday. Huh?
I've got a suntan sitting here.
Good man. Right, back on Wednesday. But until then, enjoy. Oh, yeah, no, that's fine. See you in a bit.
You make me smile when I think of you. If I get down low and I get blue, I can't get enough. You make me happy, I feel so fine. Oh, how I wish that you were mine. I can't get enough. Hopeless lover. crazy from just the thought of you. A long